morning. Thanks for joining me on my channel, Mandy Tried. Today we're gonna do things a little bit different. Instead of me doing a video of me doing a poured paint, I'm going to have my daughter do one, and she's young, and so I'm only gonna have you see her hands and the paints and so forth. So in a few minutes I'm gonna change the camera around, or actually move it down. So because we're not comfortable with showing her face on YouTube at this point. Sometime things might change. Nevertheless, before I do that though, I wanted to circle back with the painting I did. If you saw my painting of the tree branch with the birds and the balloon smushes, I just wanted to follow up and show the finished. So you can see that very well. I went back in after I made more and more balloon smushes. I went in and added some leaves, and then I added some eyes on the birds, and kind of think that's good. Pretty happy with it. I'm gonna go back in and seal it later with some sort of varnish of some sort. Either I'm gonna put the polyurethane on there. If I do, it will be super shiny, so I'm not sure I wanna go that route yet. Haven't really fully decided. So, more to come on this, I guess. And, I'll put that away. Okay, so the reason why I decided to do this with my daughter today is because I've had a few conversations with some people the other day, and they were really excited to see how it works, and they wanted to do a paint pour with their kids who are also around the same age as my daughter. So I realized that the first paint pour I did wasn't just a cut pour and moving the canvas around and what have you. So I thought I would try it with an 8-year-old. So here we go. This is going to be a new one. A couple different things we're going to be doing. We're going to use a regular 8x10 canvas. We have a couple of wooden hearts. I have had these for years. I kid you not, years, like maybe, she's 8, so I've probably had these 7 years, 6 years. And then also I have a 10-inch square wooden canvas. Eventually, I'm going to try doing an ocean pour on this. Maybe not today, or maybe not in this video. For sure not on this video, I'm gonna rephrase that. So, we're gonna do a heart, at least one heart, and we're gonna do an 8x10 canvas. And when I say we, I mean Celia, my daughter. So I'm going to move the camera down, and we're gonna do everything from start. I've already mixed the paints with the silicone. We're gonna pour them into the cup so you see how that's done. And then we're going to make a dirty pour. And my daughter's gonna do it all, cause why not, right? I do have my blowtorch. I don't know how much gas is in this. It doesn't sound like much, so I'm gonna try to torch it to get some cells. If this doesn't work, the cells will develop on their own a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. All right, give me 2 seconds, and I'm gonna just move the canvas down, and then, or the camera down rather, and then you're gonna see pretty little girl hands. Hang on 1 second. Don't get in there yet. Once again, the camera thing is still new to me. Make sure you just get the canvas. I think that should be good. You want to go stand over there? Nice and tall, please. Is your face in the camera?
No.
Let's see. Put your hands in.
No.
There we go. All right. That might be even a little bit better. Is it level? We're all work in progress here, folks, so All right, so she's gonna put her gloves on. Scoot your over this way, please.
Okay.
All right, so before we get too far into what we're doing, I just want to make sure that looks pretty good. So,
I got them all wrong again.
oh, well, you might want to fix that. So, what I'm going to use today to hold the canvas up are just some upside down red Solo cups.
Sure it's not got the broken one.
Nope, I got rid of the broken one already. Now, what does happen when you use these is that the paint will stick to this. This will stick to, I use a puppy pad, pea pad.
Again.
We're having trouble putting on our gloves today, folks. So that it sticks to the puppy pea pad. So you kind of, sort of a one and done, but it's easier for her to put this back on the canvas back on here than it would be to use a painter's triangle. One of these, a pyramid, I guess is what it's called. So one of these is a little harder for, it's hard for me sometimes to put the canvas on that and have it be level and in just exactly the right spot. So for kids, at least my kids, this is easier. So there's that. All right, now, she's a magician, can you tell? So we're gonna mix her paints in one of these smaller plastic clear cups. So we're gonna get the canvas out of the way for now.
Oh no, those aren't solid.
They are just you know, clear plastic cup. Yeah. So you don't need a whole lot of paint to do an 8x10 canvas. That I have learned. However, I still tend to go overboard on the paints that I use. Today, before we start adding them in, all of our paints are Artist Loft ready mixed paints except for one. So this, we're going to be using titanium white.
Except for this one.
Well, except for two, excuse me. Titanium white, Artist Loft aqua green. We have Artist Loft violet.
Purple.
Violet, you're turning violet. And Artist Loft phthalo blue. All right. So then, in addition to that, we have a pink that I made up for a previous pour. This is a mix of the Artist Loft white and Liquitex hot pink. It's actually fluorescent pink. What I did was I mixed this with, I lied to you, I didn't use Artist Loft white. I mixed this with, I mixed it with this Delta Creative Cream Coat. Just regular white. So I mixed these two colors together, and then I added in the Deco Art pouring medium to make it pour paint. So anyways, so there we go.
Cool.
That's cool. Uncle. I got the seal of approval. It's cool. Cecilia says it's cool. It's cool. And then the last color we have is the last little bit of the pre-mixed pouring paint, Ballet Pink. This came in a kit for Color Pour. I guess that's the name of the brand. They have a website you can go to, but in addition to that, like they sell like a little box kit that comes with like 4 colors that all go together. So that's where this one came from. It was the very first set of pour paints I got was this brand. So here's our little clear cup. And now, because it's a dirty pour, what you basically do is you just pour. And all the colors kind of get mixed. If you don't want your colors to get mixed, you pour it along the edge of the cup so that it's like, you know, the white, the pink, the purple, and so on as you layer it. Or if you don't care, you just pour it all right in the middle of the cup. So, which way do you want to go? What do you want to start with, Cecilia?
Pink.
Hot pink or the light pink?
Ballerina.
Ballet pink, okay.
Because I like ballerinas.
Okay. So we have this one. Now what color? Oh, we also have white, so we might want to... Also, let me add real quick before we go on. These colors that are in the red cups, I've also added silicone to so that they can create cells. What color do you want next?
That one.
The blue? Okay, so we're in some phthalo blue. And again, since we're going to do a dirty pour, we're just pouring it right down in the middle. And as you do that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Where's the camera? See how it's already mixing? So that's really cool. All right, and then what next? We also, like I said, we have white too. Sometimes it's good to have like a white or a black mixed in so that it stays. This white has silicone in it. You want to use this white to make cells with it? Okay. So When you add silicone to your paint, you just don't want to over mix the silicone into the paint, because if you do, you can over mix it and then it will not coagulate, that's not the word I'm looking for.
French fry it?
French fry it. It'll get all mixed in and it won't have that separation like you need for it to create the cells. Okay, what's next?
Next is purple.
Purple.
No. Teal.
Teal? Okay.
Sorry.
A little bit of teal in there. All right, and what next?
No.
We don't need a whole lot. Remember the size of the canvas.
Oh.
You want to do some purple and then some hot pink? Okay, a little bit of purple.
What about the other blue?
I mixed that for myself. Did you want to add that dark blue in there?
Oh wait, no.
No? Okay. And we're going to add some pink. Our favorite color.
It starts with pink and ends with pink.
You're right. We could add some more white in there. Do you want to add some more white, or you want to leave it at that?
I would put some more white.
Some more white? Okay, I'm going to just get these other paints out of the way real fast. I'm going to add white that does not have silicone, just so right out of the bottle.
Okay.
So what I'm doing for my paints so that they don't fall over, I actually have an old muffin tin, and I've put the cups inside that muffin tin so that way they don't
You have 2 muffin tins.
spill over. And some of that
From baking.
titanium white. Yes, we have muffin tins from baking. So then next,
Very slippery.
It's not slippery. You're on gloves.
Oh.
Before we do anything though, what I've also come to learn is that the canvas, when it's dry, it's fine to do it right on a dry canvas, but you're going to get better results if you prep your canvas by just adding a base color. So I'm using white, so I'm just gonna, or I'm not using white. I'm using white to do the base color for Cecilia. And then we're gonna spread this out a little bit at the bottom of this bottle. Yeah, you get air bubbles. Air bubbles are not your friend necessarily, because if you don't get them out before your paint dries, it'll pop and then you'll get little holes in your painting, right? Let's get let me get some more of this on there first from another bottle. All right, hang on, watch fingers.
Like a tiny ones.
So
A lot of tiny ones.
I
You want to
know.
blowtorch it or blow it with a straw.
Blowtorch it, you're right, you want to blowtorch it. But let's actually start by spreading it out with a
Stick.
spread it out with a stick. So try to get that all spread out as best as you can. You could also pick it up and tilt it around if you want to do that too.
I want to do this first.
Okay. That's just to help the paint spread to the edges, so you don't have to make it perfect. Emulsify, that's the word I was looking for. When you are mixing your silicone into your paint, you don't want to overmix it because you don't want it to be emulsified, which is another culinary word that I learned. You're out of the way.
Sorry.
It's good. I think you're doing a good job there. So while you're doing that, let me see if I can get this up and going.
Don't go off the edge, please.
It can go off the edge a little bit. That's okay. All right, I think that's good. So it's just to help the paint move around the canvas, right? Okay. You're going to hold onto that paint stick for a second. Or
Over the
both of them.
I Heart Pink. Yes.
All right, so now I'm just going to go in and pop these air bubbles a little bit. Oh, it's dripping off the edge is good. We don't worry about that so much. Okay. All right, so now where this is a dirty cup pour, what Cecilia's gonna do, she's gonna take this paint cup, which look how pretty that is.
It's like it's raining now.
It is.
Like
The drips?
Yeah, the drips.
Okay, so take your stick.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is Cecilia, Let's see if we can do this right here. Okay, she's gonna take the popsicle stick. Or you want me to do it?
Yeah.
For
2 seconds.
So you just
Then I do it?
put it in and put across. And now she's gonna put it in and put across the other way. So put a line through. Put it all the way down. All the way down. There you go. That's it. That's it. Okay?
Like an X.
Yes, like an X. Alright.
So we make an X.
Yes. Now where this is a dirty pour, all you're gonna do is just, no, you're gonna dump it because we don't want to completely waste the paint, right? But you're gonna just pour it slowly right in the middle. And there you go.
Oh, it looks like zigzag.
It does look like zigzags. It's partly because we did the X. And now all those other colors are starting to pour down. Oh, look at that.
I like it now. I like that part.
Wait till you see what it looks like when it's all done. I'm gonna scrape this out. Okay.
It looks
Look, you already have cells starting to show up. See that?
Whoa.
That's what the shells are gonna look like. There's, look at that purple one. It's cool.
That looks like lips.
It does. All right, let's stick that in there. Now, before we start tilting and pouring, I'm hoping to just get paint in your hair. Let's see if people can see that. See, the cells are already starting to show up. So that's a cell. That would be a cell. There's a cell there. However, once we start tilting, we're gonna lose some of that. I'm gonna lose you right into my canvas here in a second. Sorry. Okay, so before we do anything, I'm going to do the blowtorch again. So obviously, kids, this is something you want your parents to do. And you see, as I'm doing that, I'm getting more cells showing up. If you don't have a blowtorch, like I said, it's not that big a deal. You could put your blow dryer on this, except the blow dryer will be a little more powerful and will start to
Burn it.
no, it'll blow the paint though, right? So
Yeah.
if you have a heat gun, I have a heat gun also. A heat gun will work. Straw's not going to bring the paint cells out. It's just going to help you move the paint around. Ready? Hold it. Ready? Get the canvas in your hands. So now she's going to tilt this around very slowly.
Like a trap.
Yep. So what's happening though is as you tilt it and move it around, you're stretching those cells out. You're moving that paint all around. You want to get all the way to the edge. Very cool. All right. There you go. The whole point is to have it drip off the edge. Maybe you go that way now.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay. Go nice and slow. Bring it back to the middle for a minute. Why don't you put it down for a second? So we're going to put it down, just rest for a second, and figure out what we want to do next with it. I think you need to go that way and that way, right? Just a little bit, nice and slow. Keep going.
Can I point something out real quick?
Absolutely.
These
Cells?
the cells are a lot. There's a lot of them there, but they're all white.
Correct. They're all really
That
light.
was from that one.
It was from the white with the silicone in it. That's correct. Very good.
That one.
Looks very cool, but let's
Oh,
not.
yeah, it looks like a
It's
flower.
going to keep changing as we go, so you need to keep dripping your paint off.
Dip, dip, dip. This way.
Sure. So this is where the puppy pad comes in handy because the paint will land on that and it won't go through and leak like, you know. So look at those stretches you're getting in those cells. That's awesome.
Oh, it's so cold.
Did it get on you?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, let's see. You need to get a little bit more in that direction. You haven't gotten any off that end.
It's so cold.
Look how cool that is, though. So pretty. You're doing such a great job.
Thank you.
So this is, as you see, it looks like it's really hard to do. And admittedly, we've done a few of them. So this is not her first time doing them also. It's just maybe our first time doing it now that we have a better idea. And definitely my first time giving over control 100%. All right, you don't want to go too far because you're going to lose all your paint off of it.
Yeah, I think I do.
Why don't you bring it?
In the corner there.
So if you're missing some on your corners, that's okay. That's why you have this. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit here. You also have gloves on, right? So you could pick up some of this paint that's spilled and pour it onto the edge.
It's so cold.
Right there on there. Here, I'll help you.
I should do it.
So all you just put a little bit on those corners. I think what I would, and see you have all that white there. That's really cool. What I didn't do that I should have is before we started, I should have put painter's tape on the underside of the canvas because you're going to end up with all these clumps when you don't do that. And that's fine. I mean, you just run your finger under there, kind of clean up the edges. More of the gravity takes over, you know, so that's why we have this. Don't put it on top.
And then you get messy.
Yeah, then you get messy.
Like this.
Yeah, that's why we wipe our gloves on the... What we don't do, kids, is run around the house with painted hands and chase our siblings, right?
Yeah.
Or our dad. We could do that, right?
Yeah, we definitely do that.
We could definitely do that. All right, so ultimately, what's going to end up happening here is even while we're sitting here finishing this up, these cells are starting to show more and more as we're just sitting here talking.
I like that one.
That's really cool, but that's going to probably change. So when this is all said and done,
It's like veins.
it's going, yeah, you get veins, or they call that lacing, I think.
Like in here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they see.
Oh, look at that. Look,
There.
move here. Look at that one. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's
Looks
really
like
cool.
a jellyfish upside down. That's what it makes me think of.
Oh, very cool. So let's see.
Very young.
Kind of, yeah. I love the color choices.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Look at these cells are
I like
huge.
all of these. I like that spot and this spot.
That is so cool.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. So these are all going to change as we go on. So what we're going to do, whoops, is now using the same cup that she just used, we're going to make another one. So I'm going to slide her,
Yay.
I'm going to slide her canvas over. I didn't plan this out very smartly. Give me 1 second.
Hello? Well, that was a chicken. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh. We should tell our followers here a joke.
I the pigeon crossed the road. We'll get to the other side. Aw.
Aw.
I didn't get it on me.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm getting it all over me. But that's why I'm wearing an apron today. All right, so
I
you're
don't
just
want
gonna...
to get it on my dance shoe.
No, you don't want to get an answer. Grab a heart.
Heart?
So now we're gonna do a heart.
I wanted to do the ocean on it too.
Well, I don't know if I'm ready to do an ocean, but we could do all blues and whites. That might work.
Looks like it spills stuff on
Okay,
it.
well, we're not worried about the cup. Put the heart down.
Aw.
It's okay. It's gonna get covered, right?
Yeah. Can we use different colors?
Oh, sure. We'll do different colors. That's not a problem. Well, we have the colors already made. You have to use colors already made because they don't want to wait while I'm mixing paint.
Okay.
So, you want to do...
I'll use the
So we have...
pink again.
Oh, I thought you wanted to do the ocean.
Well, I'll put a little bit of dark pink in
You have dark pink in your ocean?
there.
What kind of ocean she lives in? Let's go with the phthalo blue.
Nobody lives in the ocean unless you're SpongeBob.
Oh, all right, fair. Okay. You heard it here, folks. All right, so let's do a little bit of the teal, and then we'll do the phthalo blue, and then this is called bright blue. It's also Artist Loft. Watch out, you don't want to get in that painting. Excuse me. And then we'll add some of the white, but with yeah, we'll do some of the white. And then I'm going to take, excuse me.
I want to do a lot of dark pink.
Well, if you do dark pink, you're not going to have an ocean.
It's okay. That would be like a seashell, like a big seashell.
Okay, well, I guess we're changing our mind as we go. That's fine, too. All right, what do you want to do then? Let's see. What are we doing?
A lot of dark pink because hearts are usually pink.
Now, we could do
Red.
this a little bit different. Now, let's do one a little bit different. Let's do, you want to just do pour it right directly on the canvas?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the pours, okay? You tell me what, well, let me start it, okay? You want to do a lot of pink, you said, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot of pink. Swirl it, make a heart.
Wow, my hand's really big in that camera. Sorry.
That's good.
Okay, so we got a lot of pink on there. Now what? Stop.
Okay.
You make me seasick with you dancing.
Seasick.
What do you want next?
I want
Teal?
Yes,
Or aqua? Okay, now you want to do it?
this, please.
Don't do a whole lot in one spot. Just kind of swirl it around.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, that's good.
A lot.
That's all right. Okay, and this is the
Dark blue.
phthalo blue. Well, it's kind of, it's funny.
Ooh.
It's kind of a royal blue, I think.
That's all.
It's okay.
Okay, it's good.
Okay. And then, did you want to use this darker blue, or do you
Yes,
want to?
please.
Yeah. Okay. There's no
And some
silicone in
purple.
this. Yeah. Go ahead, put that on first. Try to get maybe more on the outside edges a little bit, but bring it through the middle too.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, nice. Ooh, that's a lot.
I think he went
Nice.
to bed.
Nice. And there's your purple.
I
Stir
think
that just a
stick out.
smidge. Okay.
Take the stick out.
Yeah, sure. I'll hold that. All right. Maybe some down here on the bottom, kind of right through the middle again. Okay. Oh, nice. All right. I think that's good. Okay, now I'm going to do one last thing, just because we didn't prep the board before we started, and I don't know if it matters, because we have literally never painted on wood, done a poured paint on wood.
And we also have a part paint with chalkboard.
Well, I know I don't have that one.
You don't have it?
No, I left that down.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, Cecilia,
Yeah.
do you want to take
Mommy.
a skewer,
A skewer.
and make some designs in there?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what this is gonna do, so let's go for it. Oh, actually,
So
let me
slippery.
let me blow out the it's not slippery, it's your hands with the gloves on. Let me take
Yeah.
the bubbles out first. This is gonna be so pretty. I already can tell already. Again, this is, like I said, something completely new. I've never done a poured paint on wood before. Go ahead, babe. Get in there and swirl it around. Do whatever you want. You just don't want to mix too much because you don't want your colors to combine
To make
to the point that you, or get muddy or kind of foggy, as they say. Oh, that's pretty.
I made a heart and a heart.
Oh, you made a heart in a heart? That's cool.
And a heart.
Maybe mix some of that up there. Probably. Well, I think that's probably good because you're going to start losing. All right, you ready to tilt?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, I don't know how to do it in the shape of a heart, so you're just going to have to pick it up and start tilting. There's a lot of paint on that board.
Yeah, there is.
It's okay, let it run right off the edge, it's fine. Cool.
Bring it to the middle now.
Yeah, bring it back up to the middle, maybe tilt it a little bit that way.
Okay, it's going so slow.
That's, yeah, it is actually, it's moving. I really like that darker blue.
We'll spread that around.
Do you want me to help you?
Yes, please.
Do you want me to tilt it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it down. carefully, don't get on your shirt. You didn't. It's acrylic, so it should. Well, I don't know if it'll wash out or not, but I don't think it washes out.
This is one of my dance chanson.
All right. Clearly, we don't take ourselves very seriously in this house.
No.
Which is
Sometimes.
good. Life is too short for that.
Okay, I think that's good. Oh yeah, you need it.
Oh, look, how pretty is this?
It's like a only purple.
No.
You just put it down now.
I'll put it down in 1 second. All right, so I just want to make sure. It's really important to make sure your edges get covered. But, so what I was saying before about prepping your board, your canvas before you start with the paint around the edges, you know, so that it pulls the poured paint, gives it something to hold on to, and that's what makes it stretch. But then gravity kicks in. So when you have all of that hanging off of the edge, like dripping off the bottom, it's going to continue to pull the paint. And that's not a bad thing. That's what helps make everything stretch. So you just... You good?
Yeah.
So, wow, look at that. Look what's happening there. That's really cool. That's
I like
very
how
ocean looking.
It looks like an ocean right there.
It does. It looks very cool.
Like,
All right. So that is board paints with on wood with your 8-year-old. So let me just torch this one last time. Yeah. Hold on, Cecilia. Torch that one last time. Maybe we'll get some more cells in there. I don't have a whole lot of cells showing up right now. Well, not right now. We're not going to do another one right now because this video is nice and long already.
It's 31 minutes.
Probably.
32 minutes.
Okay.
And somewhat seconds.
All right. Thank you guys so much for following our channel. Please, if you know, go out and like the video. If you don't subscribe to our channel already, I really appreciate it if you would. And share and tell all your friends how funny we are, or you know how funny we try to be, and you know. That's that. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.